Think of a Dataverse environment like a massive corporate office building. The kind with secure doors everywhere. In this scenario, security roles, well, they're basically the programmable keycards we hand out to people. For the AB-410 exam, you absolutely need to know exactly how to code these keycards. Why? Because users, and the AI copilots acting on their behalf, need to access exactly what they need to do their jobs and literally nothing more. So let's dive right into the logic behind standard versus custom access.
Okay, so when you need a brand new set of permissions, you basically have a choice. You can either duplicate an existing master key or try to forge an entirely new one from scratch. Now, for the AB-410 exam, keep this in mind. Copying is almost always your best path. Standard default roles in Dataverse already have these essential kind of invisible core privileges built right in, stuff you need just to log into the interface. If you try to forge one from absolute zero, well, you're going to have to manually configure every single minimal privilege before your app even functions. Copying is just faster, and frankly, it's way safer for your whole app ecosystem.
So where do we actually go to forge these digital keycards? You can't just wander the digital halls. You have to follow a very specific administrative path. If you're in the Power Platform Admin Center, the sequence is pretty rigid. You go to Environments, select your target environment, hit Settings, expand Users plus Permissions, click on Security Roles, and finally, New Role. Memorizing this exact architectural click path? Yeah, that's fundamental exam logic right there. Make sure you've got it down.
All right, now we set the initial parameters. It's kind of like registering a brand new department with the building's security office. First up, you provide a name, and then you absolutely must select a business unit, even if, you only have one by default. And then we have team inheritance. This one is huge. If you enable this and assign the role to a team, every single member of that team automatically inherits these privileges. It's an incredibly powerful way to push access down to a group. I mean, it's vastly better than the total nightmare of manually configuring 50 separate users one by one, right?
After you save those core settings, you enter the configuration matrix. Think of this as your master control board. Now, instead of scrolling endlessly through thousands of different tables, which would take forever, you just use the search field. This lets you instantly locate the specific custom table you want to grant access to. This interface right here, this is exactly where your raw enterprise data meets your rigid security architecture.
Once you locate your table, you're going to see a row of privileges. Think of these as specific rights to a highly secure filing cabinet, like who gets to actually view the documents, who can add new ones, or run them through a shredder. You are controlling 8 exact actions here: create, read, write, delete, append to, assign, and share. Let's put that in a real-world context. If your AI copilot needs to summarize a record, it literally must have read rights here, otherwise the automation completely fails. And if it needs to log that summary back to the database, yep, it requires write access. It's that simple, but absolutely crucial.
But having the privilege isn't quite enough. We also have to define its reach. In Dataverse, we call this the scope. Scope determines exactly how deep, or how high, within the environment's hierarchy a user can perform a specific action. For instance, if we set the scope to Organization for all our new privileges, it means the user and any of their connected intelligent apps has those filing cabinet rights across the entire company's data for this specific custom table. It is literally the absolute widest possible net you can cast.
For the AB-410 exam, you absolutely must understand why this matters. These Dataverse privileges form an impenetrable boundary. Think about the transformation flow. A user triggers an app interface, which then fires a Cloudflow, hitting Dataverse for AI processing to generate a result. Now, if your agentic AI apps or low-code automations try to process that data, but this underlying security role lacks the right privileges, boom, the entire process shatters. There's no way around it. The AI cannot bypass Dataverse security. It respects these boundaries absolutely.
Okay, so now the role actually exists, but it's just sitting there in a digital drawer. We need to physically hand out these programmed badges to our users. Navigating back to the security roles list, you need to watch out for a classic architectural pitfall. Do not, and I mean do not, click the role name. Actually, if you mistakenly click the name, you just get trapped right back in the configuration screen we were just on. Instead, what you want to do is select the role, navigate up to the command bar, hit the More Actions button, the 3 little dots, and then select Members.
Once you hit Members, you'll select Add People, which pops open your directory panel on the right side of the screen. From here, you just use the search field to hunt down individuals. You can enter their name, their email address, or even a team name. Keep in mind, you are searching the live enterprise directory here, and you select them directly from the results to queue them up for access.
To finalize the assignment, you just hit the Add button at the bottom of the panel, and boom, they immediately populate under the members list for your new security role. Need to revoke access later on? Super easy. Simply select the person's name and hit the Remove Action button up in the command bar. It is really that instantaneous. So, as you wrap up your prep for the exam, I want you to consider this. If you mismanage these final assignments, say granting excessive access instead of the strict minimum required privileges, how quickly could a single over-permissioned AI agent compromise your entire enterprise data ecosystem?